Slow, but we'll get there yet.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sally.
My name's Chris Lyons. I live in Brunswick, Maine. I was asked if I would speak here today to denounce political violence. I'm going to expand a little bit on that because violence is violence. Politics is just an adjective. Domestic violence is wrong. Political violence is wrong. When I lived in England, you had hooligans who would go to stadiums during football games, or we call soccer here, and they'd start bloody brawls. So I guess we could call that soccer violence. And then we have government violence. Violence perpetuated by the state, usually for a higher cause, allegedly. I was at a function and I listened to a very wise person say something, and I think he's 95% of the time true. When somebody says, I really am against this, I'm against violence, but here comes the bullpucky. Here's the reason why I'm going to give you an excuse why I'm going to go against one of my core beliefs, and in this case, violence. I'm not going to do that today. I thought long and hard. I work as a small-time contractor. I've thought about this for 2 weeks. I said, okay, what are the good reasons for having violence? So I sat down and made a list, and here it is. You will see there's only 2 words on this entire piece of paper for 2 weeks of thinking of any possible justification for violence. It says self-defense. Now, some people would disagree with me on this. Even self-defense isn't justifiable. Pacifists tend to think this way. I do believe we are owners of our own body, our own mind. We are each and all individuals. And we do, and that's the only justification for violence.
Woo!
Not some future threat, not some perceived the world's going to blow up in 6 years or after the next election. Self-defense only.
Yeah!
I got thinking about some other things too in regards to violence. Why would people be violent? Why would they even... Because really I believe 95 to 99% of people do not wish to be violent. We don't want violence against us, and we don't want to perpetuate it against other people. So I kind of boiled it down to passion. Now, passion, like fire, can be a good thing or a bad thing. It's how we choose how to use it. Now, passion's awesome. It motivates us here to be here, even for the people over there to be there. It gives us a reason to perhaps overcome ourselves or to challenge ourselves or to stand for something we feel is wrong. On the flip side, we can use it as an excuse, and it is unjustifiable because I'm so emotional, I am so passionate that I distort things, and then I take harm towards other people. Now, violence isn't just something against a person, a group against a person, a group against another group, or the government against groups of people or individuals. Violence can also be committed against other people's property. Because like our bodies, it's our property. In the last election, which happens every election, maybe it was a little more pronounced in 2016, people would go and destroy political signs. They would scratch up people's cars. Somebody firebombed a Trump place, I think it was in North Carolina, and then somebody firebombed a Clinton place, and I think it was in Georgia or Alabama, I can't remember. One is just flat out wrong. You can't do it. It's criminal. You have no right to harm other people or harm their stuff. They have a right to say whether you agree or not. And most of the time, I don't agree with a lot of things. I voted for Gary Johnson.
Woo!
So, and that's almost a protest vote against what's happening. The extremities are trying to control us middle, and it's wrong. And the vast silent majority do not agree with it. Now, what's going through these people's head when they let their passion run away with them? They make up things. They character assassinate without proof. They try to punch people. They destroy other people's stuff. what's going through their head that is going to make their cause stronger, that is going to put them on a higher plane, on a higher moral ground? Just the exact opposite happens. Those people who may have been sympathetic start to pull away from you. They don't want to know you, and if you keep doing it, you're now the enemy. You lose.
Yeah.
Violence is never the solution. It is the problem. Most of us can work out our problems through dialogue. Most of the time when these things happen, it's through miscommunication and assumptions. This will be one of my last points. We tend to assume, and I've done it myself, and I hopefully with bad experiences and realizing I was wrong, I have assumed wrongly, and assumed wrongly about other people's intentions or what they really mean. Do it all the time. This is very destructive. It's wiser if we don't do things like that. Got a question? Ask. My final 2 points. I am seeking the nomination from the Libertarian Party of Maine to run as U.S. Senate in the next election 2018. I'm a member of the National Party, Libertarian Party, and I'm also a member of the Libertarian Party of Maine. The preamble to the Libertarian Party platform goes as follows, quote, "As libertarians, we seek a world of liberty, a world in which all individuals are sovereign over their own lives and no one is forced to sacrifice his or her values for the benefit of others. We believe that respect for individual rights is the essential precondition for a free and prosperous world, that force and fraud must be banished from human relationships, and that through freedom can peace and prosperity be realized. Consequently, we defend each person's right to engage in any activity that is peaceful and honest, and welcome the diversity that freedom brings. The world we seek to build is one where individuals are free to follow their own dreams in their own ways without interference from government or any authoritarian power." Now, if you go to the Libertarian Party of Maine website, when I became a member, and I'll quote it, I had to tick a little box that says this, and I believe in it. It's not just words. "As per our bylaws, membership in the Libertarian Party of Maine requires you to affirm that you oppose the initiation of force to achieve political or social goals. A checkbox to do this is below." Thank you very much. I'm so glad you could all be here, and let's have a peaceful rally.
Yeah.